So, we're going to move into the NHL and start off with some Patrick Kane rumors, which we haven't talked about a lot since the NHL season started. In the fact that eventually I think everybody knew that Patrick Kane would be making a return, like, I don't know, coming in 30 in like the WWE Royal Rumble is what I'd compare it to. All of a sudden you just hear like, somebody's music, everybody goes, holy shit. That's kind of what I'd compare this to. But the NHL's version is we've got probably one of the best scorers of the last 15 years while he is now out of his prime going to a team and instantly adding a scoring flair that team might need. And my head immediately goes to certain teams that are missing that as of this time. But there's three teams that are apparently being narrowed down on as potential suitors, and they are the Florida Panthers, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Buffalo Sabres are the three teams that most people are saying, which is really interesting to me because a rumor that I actually pitched this segment to you, Caleb, with was the fact that he'd potentially go to the Maple Leafs, as apparently he has interviewed with the Maple Leafs. And he has talked to as many as 8 clubs so far. So bringing in the Maple Leafs, that makes 4 that we know of. That's another 4 that we don't. I think there are a lot of really interesting options, obviously. I completely thought from the start that if I'm Patrick Kane, I'm going to a team that's at the top. You are not going to a team that might be good or that might be better with you on it. You are going to a team that's already insane, and you are just adding to that. And there's a lot of options I thought that he'd be approaching. I think that one team that would be on here if they had a better start to the season would absolutely be the Edmonton Oilers, which is why I actually thought that they were going to be my dark horse to get him. Because, I mean, think about it like this from the perspective of the Oilers. I mean, they have been struggling to score. They've been struggling to find someone to slide up there with McDavid. McDavid's been struggling. It would not hurt to throw a veteran elite scorer like Patrick Kane on that top line. Like, that would be killer for them. That is exactly what they really, really need, other than goaltending, obviously. That sucks, too. But it's just, it can't hurt, is kind of what I mean, especially if you sign him on a 1-year deal. Finding that cap room would be tough for them, but I'm surprised that conversation was never had, is kind of what I mean. But I mean, even cap room for the Maple Leafs and whatever, so have you, would be tough. Like, there's a lot of interesting teams here. I'm curious who you might think that... Who would you like to see Patrick Kane on, if you could pick for Patrick Kane?
Okay, well, I'm like going through. I think the Maple Leafs is interesting because it's kind of the thing they always do. I feel like where they're just, you had it with Ryan O'Reilly last year, and now you're having it. You could have the same kind of thing. The Oilers is another one, and I think that actually works really well. That actually might be my. If cap space wasn't a thing, that might be my number one, just because, like you said, the scoring, I mean, and goaltending, but scoring is one of their big issues. Having him up there would be great. I don't know. I'm thinking
it wouldn't solve their problems, but it would not hurt.
It wouldn't hurt, and it feels like the Oilers feel like one of those teams that just kind of needs a spark to get where they should be, because it's like they're like, as much as we are Oilers haters, even we wouldn't have anticipated them being this bad.
I don't know what you're talking about. The Oilers always suck. McDavid's a bust.
Okay, that's true. But it's the kind of, like, I feel like they do just need a little bit of a spark to get going. The one place where I do think I could see it, though, is Detroit. I feel like that's such an interesting one. Specifically because it would be a reunion with DeBrincat, and I think that could be such a good. Yeah, I think that could be such a good.
Would look so wrong. Like,
it would.
I see DeBrincat in a Detroit jersey, and it honestly looks fine. Kane, that's true. Kane in a Rangers jersey looked wrong. So, I mean, you can't get much wrong.
Kane in anything but a Blackhawks jersey just feels wrong.
Well, it's not only that, but seeing him in another original 6 teams jersey just is weird. It's like seeing a team go from like Leafs to Bruins. Right? Yeah. It's the same idea where it's just like it just feels so like wrong. I don't know.
He's going to hit up all the original 6 teams by the end of his career. See him in a Boston jersey, up in Toronto, in Detroit. Already hit Rangers and Blackhawks.
That would be so gross.
Yep.
See, imagine Kane in a Bruins jersey.
Sick.
That makes me want to vomit, and I actually kind of like the Bruins.
Yeah.
Like, him in a Maple Leafs jersey is not much better for me, but Bruins just seems like the worst.
It really does. I think Red Wings is I don't mind that fit in the Red Wings either. I just think it's so perfect in terms of what they need to get over the hump.
Of course not. I that wasn't me saying that I think that it'd be the wrong fit, because I do think it would work well. We obviously brought up the Maple Leafs, and I was quick to bring up their roster just because I was curious where he would fit, and I actually kind of am. I'm curious how good of a season Matthew Knies is having, because he's on that top line with Matthews and Marner, and then behind that they have Tyler Bertuzzi, John Tavares, and William Nylander. Why did I say Nylander? That's a weird way to pronounce that. Anyway, irrelevant.
Because of Matthew Knies.
Matthew Knies. And I think where would you slide him in? Because he is naturally, I believe, a right winger. Patrick Kane. And
where do they have Knies playing? Is Knies playing the left wing or
He's playing the left wing. I will say the issue with the Maple Leafs is automatically that I want to fact check myself actually. That Patrick Kane is. I want to figure out which side he normally plays on. He normally plays on the. He shoots left, so I'm assuming he usually plays left wing. And I think he's the right wing. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody in the comments, let me know. But I'm assuming he's a right winger, because I've always thought he was a right winger. I think he's one of those wingers who plays on his offhand, like Ovi. And I don't know. Do you really want to push? Are you gonna push out Marner or Nylander? Right? Hell, no. Even pushing Bertuzzi down to a third line feels weird. Right? Like, it's one of those things where do you slide him?
It has to be where Knies is, like Matthew Knies. Like, you have to
somehow make that work.
Yeah. I mean, that's the issue with the Leafs, right? That they have the best roster in the league. But it's not performing.
Yeah, they just suck.
At the level it should be, yeah.
I mean, you pretty much hit it right there. Like, they just can't do it. Like,
which is why I don't think Kane is the right fit for them.
Another reason why it would not fit at all is that he can't wear 88 because of Nylander. So I immediately imagine Patrick Kane on the Leafs not wearing 88.
Yeah.
Like that'd be
I'm sure Nylander. I feel like Nylander would give that up.
Oh, hell no, he wouldn't.
No?
No, of course not. It's his whole brand now. He's a star.
I guess.
No, Nylander would not give up that number. Like, it would be.
Well, he doesn't have to worry about it.
What did you say there?
I mean, he doesn't have to worry about it because I don't think it's realistic that it'll happen. I don't think it fits their needs, and I don't think they have the cap space to do it.
Yeah, which, I mean, I think that we talked about the Oilers, now we've talked about the Leafs. I think now that really does help narrow down exactly why the Panthers, the Red Wings, and the Buffalo Sabres are all the teams listed here, because they are the teams that they kind of make more sense. I think the Sabres is very
The Sabres is a little bit weirder. The Sabres have not nearly been as good as they should.
Yeah, but
because I think you said going to a team that kind of needs to be good already. Like, from what the Sabres have shown, I don't think that our expectations are that they were, but I don't think they've shown that this year.
No. But that really leaves Detroit and the Florida Panthers if you're trying to narrow it down there. And the Panthers have dealt with a lot of injuries. Yeah. And that's been their issue this season, especially on the defensive side, as I know they were missing both.
Ekblad, Montour.
Yeah, they were missing quite a few players at one point. I don't necessarily. I think out of the three, I kind of agree with you. I think Detroit's the best fit. I think he would really automatically add a lot to that Detroit team. Not saying that they don't already have a lot, obviously, but it would add a lot to them. So I think that's super interesting. I think whoever gets him is instantly going to be a way better team. I don't. If you're looking at Kane as a already completely out of his prime scorer who's not going to do much, you're wrong. Like, Kane's going to still be able to come in, and I think if he played a full season, Kane's still skilled enough to score 25. Like, I at least, like, in the right position, I think he totally can.
Yes, but I also think, though, that to your earlier point, you do kind of have to be an already good team. I think if you're looking at signing Patrick Kane, you need to look at him not as the solution to all your problems, but as a complementary piece that can help you get over the hump. At this point in his career, he cannot be the guy that's going to come in and fix everything. That's what worries me a little bit about Buffalo, is that kind of positions him a little bit more as the guy who needs to come in and fix everything. On a team like Florida or Detroit,
So yeah, I totally do see where you're coming from, though. I think that Buffalo is definitely the right pick to probably write off that list right away, where it's just like the other two teams there are just kind of. Again, or not necessarily the other two. I think the Panthers still obviously have a good team. Just injuries, they're running into a wall. Like, it's just like, and do you really want to risk that if you're Kane? Kane can go anywhere. Do you really want to go to a team that's injury ridden, whether you went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year or not?
Yeah, because you have to wonder how much of that's a fluke. And like, the Red Wings feel like a good kind of team where if you're playing 2 years, you can ride it out a little bit and have a couple of shots at a cup, because I feel like their future is very bright. The immediate future.
So yeah, I actually do agree with you. I think that's probably I would say Red Wings are the best fit. He would not fit it well in that jersey, and that is where I would choose to end it.
The vibes are not right.
The vibes ain't it. But Patrick Kane.
What about you know what the vibes are right, Simon? You know where the vibes are right? Patrick Kane in the Calgary Flames jersey. Make it happen. We're still winning. We're still irrelevant.
Imagine that. God, we've had so much. Cool. And think about it like this: we've had so much success with American talent. I'm sure it would work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's not like all of them end up hating us and leaving. It's like they love it here. They love it here. He'll come here.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the meme that you always hear on Twitter? Flame. That's there you go. Patrick Kane, he's a flame. First line with Huberdeau, Zari. It's gonna be great.